Upstream.
Someone has a notification set, right?
I got one.
I don't think I got
I know.
a couple. I got a couple.
Yeah, there should be a couple. Oh, we're on?
Yeah.
Alright.
Right
Con.
Yeah.
Alright, Shalom. All praise to the Most High.
YAHAWAH.
YAHAWASHI.
Glory and honor to the Heavenly Father in the name of His Son. Double honors to the elders and apostles of the nation of Yasharallah, better known as the Great Millstone. Honor, blessings, and salutations to our fellow laborers who hazard their lives for the true doctrine. And you know what doctrine that is? The doctrine, what they say, the doctrine of Great Millstone, which is actually the doctrine of the truth, okay, of the scriptures, which is just a, everyone's got to be called and titled by something. And the Spirit just had Apostle Har use the Great Millstone, okay, which is a representation and a tool for work, okay, because as you can see, and as it's very evident, okay, we're the main tool on this job site that's not breaking down. You know, all these other tools, okay, have their fashion, but they're made to be abused and destroyed. Okay, so anyone who's not a sluggard, who works with any serious craft, understands that you have tools to be destroyed and things that are meant to break down and easily replaced, and that's why you have a box full of tape. You constantly order in pallets of cardboard, or you constantly have box cutters and razor blades on deck, extra gloves. Because these are things that you tear through, but there's certain tools that are made that should never get replaced. Maybe maintenance and just upkept, okay, but you never replace them. You should never have to replace a pallet jack, for instance. You might maintain it, but you should never have to replace certain tools, right? Now you could add extensions to them and things like this, like a forklift. You should never have to replace a forklift if it stays in shop. You might have a weekly or monthly technician come out to maintain it, but you have everything to do every type of job you need. Whether it's an extra heavier counterweight, longer forks, maybe a basket, maybe a specific type of front end so that it can pick up carpet rolls, or you name it. They make all kinds of things for that. So, Great Millstone is the tool that YAHAWASHI is using. And the evidence is in instances and occurrences like this, where you have the New Year's Eve of destruction. You know how many other groups do a so-called New Year's Eve of destruction? And where do they get that from? You see a lot of groups that upload videos and have content. Where do they get that from? Why are they on the YouTube platform? See, a lot of these guys, they don't want to admit it, but they're biters. They're copycats. And one thing that the elders and apostles have said from the beginning, a long time ago, was you can only tell a lie if you know the truth. So Great Millstone is established through the spirit of YAHAWASHI. Okay? YAHAWASHI has established Great Millstone to be that standard of truth. And so that's allowed variance, okay, to occur. It's that simple of an observation. You brothers, if and when you got something, just go ahead and say something. But what I have up on the screen is I just typed in New Year's, and for the news, this is about 38, maybe 42 minutes ago. It says Tokyo car attack. Driver hits New Year's revelers in city's Harajuku district. So let's look up this word reveler, which you should, maybe you're familiar with what it means to revel. But we're going to get the definition. And see, that's another thing. There's a lot of groups. I saw a woman, so-called teacher, pastor, or whatever she wants to call herself, going into the Strong's definition for a word in the Greek, a word in the Hebrew. Where did people get this from? They weren't doing this. Okay, so this is the word reveler. It says a person who is enjoying themselves in a lively and noisy way. So being clamorous in the streets, okay, and people are getting taken out. This day, I mean, people are letting off shots, fireworks. They're getting into fights. People are killing each other. Animals are. You got lions killing people. You got animals attacking. You know, when animals attack every day, man. People are attacking every day, and it's funny because everyone was just in this Christmas spirit of, you know, if you showed up at a restaurant, maybe they paid your bill. You know, or you were walking down the street and they just handed you like $20. You know, you're sitting at the light and the bum comes up to clean your windows and doesn't charge nobody all day. He's doing it for free. You know, and then where'd that spirit go? It left, and now it's in revelry, man. It's in clamorous.
I appreciate for you.
Yep.
Just the conclusion of what you're talking about. Who we got this from? As far as it being the New Year's Eve of destruction. It says, "But continue thou in the things which thou hast learned, and hast been assured of, knowing of whom thou hast learnt them, and that from a child thou hast known the holy scriptures, which are able to make thee wise unto salvation through faith which is in Hamashiach YAHAWASHI."
Yep, you see? So there's knowledge, really, and then there's another precept, wisdom and knowledge shall be the stability of thy time. You know, but you have to be built up from a child, drawn from the breast, weaned from the milk, okay? And you're studying, and at first when you come into this thing, you know, you're a parrot, you know, you're a monkey, you know, and then you become a toad, where you're hard-headed, like it says in Ezekiel, to make your forehead hard against their forehead. You're firm built on your faith. You become unwavering and immovable. You become a dove, harmless as a dove. You become a dragon, wise as a serpent. So you elevate in this thing, and it takes time. And you got people that come into this thing for a year or two, and they think that they know something. You know, but hey, look, this year, 2019, is here, man. We're gonna see who really knows what, and who's actually fooling themselves and their followers, man. You know.
I got something.
Yep.
This is Ecclesiastes chapter 7 verse. I started 2. It said it is better to go to the house of mourning than to go to the house of feasting, for that is the end of all men, and the living will lay it to his heart. Sorrow is better than laughter, for by the sadness of the countenance the heart is made better. The heart of the wise is in the house of mourning, but the heart of fools is in the house of mirth.
Yep. Yeah, so you got all these people in a celebratory mindset when the year's not even over. This is the 4th season, and the season isn't over until what? February? The new year doesn't begin until the springtime. So that just shows you that this place is Babylon. It's confusion, man. And the Most High has promised destruction to come to this place, man. So why are people so excited for the beginning of? Well, really, this is the beginning of their 4th season, man. The year's you got 2 more months to go, man. As the weather gets worse all the way through February, some places experience snow up until April.
It's gonna be a cold winter too, man.
It's supposed to be a cold winter, so you're gonna have tons of roads getting messed up. You know, it's gonna be harder for supply. It's always harder for supplies to move in the winter.
Especially gasoline.
Yeah. I mean, the gas prices alone in Washington State, you know, gas is damn near $4 a gallon.
The East Coast experience worse conditions than over here, you know. So the East Coast, the northern part of America that has, you know, the Dakotas and Chicago, Illinois, right. Those the states that's touching Canada, all those type of states, they're gonna be the plain states, like the brother said, they're gonna be experiencing terrible ass conditions, man. You know, in the West Coast doesn't really feel that effect so much because the way the mountain range is, but. Hey, those winters be bad, man. It got bad last year, and the way this summer was, man, it's projected that this winter is gonna be just as harsh and just as rough. You know.
Yep. that's not gonna stop, man. I shared the link for our video, and the last 3 numbers in it is 144. Hey, look, man, the Most High is turning up, man. You know, we see a lot of spiritual things, and we expect more destruction to come. You know, this is just the beginning for the visitation of judgment, man.
That's right.
And the scripture said it. This is the beginning of sorrows as we see all these things come to pass, and they're going to get worse. You know, so these people think that tomorrow they're going to wake up brand new. You know, like their sins have been atoned for.
Yeah, they're gonna wake up brand new in the spirit realm. A lot of them gonna die.
Yep.
Yeah, a lot of dust tonight.
Yeah, you know what? If you brothers got something, go ahead and bring it out. I'm gonna look something up.
I got Matthew the 24th chapter, just because this is more of what we're about to see in 2019 as far as just signs of the end in general. All right. Matthew chapter 24 verse 4. And YAHAWASHI answered and said unto them, Matthew chapter 24 verse 3. And as he sat upon the Mount of Olives, the disciples came unto him privately, saying, Tell us, when shall these things be, and what shall be the sign of thy coming, and the end of the world? And YAHAWASHI answered and said unto them, Take heed that no man deceive you, for many shall come in my name, saying, I am Christ, and shall deceive many. And ye shall hear of wars and rumors of wars. See that ye be not troubled, for all these things must come to pass, but the end is not yet. For nation shall rise against nation, and kingdom against kingdom, and there shall be famines and pestilence and earthquakes in diverse places.
Yeah, you had the earthquake in Alaska. That woke a lot of people up. You know, we're gonna see more and more of these things come to pass. You know, this is just the beginning of sorrows. The famines, the earthquake, nation against nation. Russia, you know, a lot of people are realizing now that Russia won the Cold War, man. And they're winning this current Cold War because they're developing better missiles than America. I mean, listen outside.
Yep.
Yeah, the sirens.
The sirens are going, and they're going to only increase because you got dumbasses shooting guns cocked in every direction. Everyone's outside.
Mm-hmm.
You know? Yeah, bullets come down. When whatever goes up must come down, right?
Yep.
True.
Hey, you're right. I got to say that real quick. This is from express.co.uk. It says World War III, Putin prepares to deploy invincible hypersonic missile system in New Year.
There it is.
It says the Russian leader who has declared the avant-garde system invulnerable to U.S. defenses announced its imminent deployment after its final test. You know, and basically what they're saying is, can't no missile defense system stop this missile?
Yeah, won't,
Yep.
It's ahead of its time, so to speak. You know.
Another one quick too, back that up from the UK too, article from the same news article is express.co.uk. World War III alert, U.S. in shock as Putin moves supersonic nuclear bombers to convert Caribbean base. And it says, yeah.
Hey, remember, they had the Russian ship or the submarine that went to Venezuela.
Old base.
And you see what Trump did. They went down. They hurry up and went down to Venezuela and try to do some kind of like deal to pretty much to get them Russians out of there, man.
Russia already got that contract because it's already set in stone as far as between those countries, Venezuela and Russia. That Russia's gonna be the one that's down there dealing with those Venezuelans, man. Venezuela's is already offering their gold to Russia for Russia's aid and help. You know what I'm saying? So America's already lost in that attempt to sneak in there. You know, they got beat by the other Edomites. You know.
Yeah, let me read this real quick and then show a quick video. It says U.S. Stratcom tweets deletes violent New Year's Eve greeting video. It says the United States Strategic Command, or Stratcom, a nuclear-capable branch of the U.S. military, tweeted an ominous video message on the eve of 2019 that seemed to threaten to bomb Times Square, sending Twitter into one final frenzy before the brain blogger that was 2018 finally culminates. Brain boggler, so like it, brain boggler that was 2018 finally culminates. It says the tweet was deleted hours later, but it can still be viewed here. So let's click on that. Stratcom offered an apology after taking it down, tweeting, "Our previous New Year's Eve tweet was in poor taste and does not reflect our values. We apologize. We are dedicated to the security of America and allies." Well, guess what? America is not the citizens. America is a corporation. It is. It's not a physical thing, so to speak. Okay, you people are just a collateral damage. You're worth more dead than alive.
Exactly.
Okay, so let's see if we can get this video up. It says you can watch it here. Where's the here at?
Can I say something real
Yeah,
quick?
yeah, go ahead. I'm a
Hey, because I was listening to the news earlier, man, and they was saying that in New York City, they got a record amount of people that showed up for that ball drop. You know what I'm saying? A lot of people for, like, bucket list stuff. People from other countries, from France and so on and so forth, that came over for that bar drop, to the point that they've specialized their police force to provide the security for it, you know what I'm saying, in the events or the actions against terrorism or whatever. But it's pouring down rain in New York City, man. You know what I'm saying, the forecast is for rain, and they had it where they can't even bring umbrellas. Nobody there can bring umbrellas, and once you go there to Times Square, you're not allowed to leave. If you leave, you can't come back. You know what I'm saying? So
it takes
those
hours
people,
to leave that place.
those people have been standing there for a day and a half. You know what I'm saying? With no umbrellas getting poured on, you know, just to watch this damn the ball drop, man.
Out of their mind, man.
Hey, this says in the tweet, Stratcom noted the traditional way of seeing out the year with the dropping of a massive ball in Times Square, New York. The tradition rings in the new year by dropping the big ball. If ever needed, we are ready to drop something much, much bigger, Stratcom said,
Oh, wow.
encouraging Twitter users to watch the video attached to the tweet to the end. So let's play this video. Hopefully it works. Check my pop-up blockers not allowing it. Pause it on this site. Reload it. And it should load up. I bet you we'll find it on YouTube. But also, this is an article from 2016 that says why more people die on January 1st than any other time of the year. Okay, it says despite the fact that most people spend January 1st fighting off hangovers and sleeping, research has revealed that today is actually the most dangerous day of the year. A study conducted by the University of California collected data and found that deaths spiked for the 2 weeks around Christmas and the New Year. Overall, the research found that the day you're most likely to die of natural causes is the first of the new year, January 1st.
That's like the movie The Purge.
Yep.
Does it not
Yep.
commence on the first of the year?
I think so, yep. Get it all out your system and conclude it.
Yeah. Hey, these motherfucking movie tellers, they know what the fuck they're telling the truth. That's how you make a good movie. It's through reality, like what's real. Hey. Yeah.
Yep. Says 5% more people dying on January 1st from natural causes than on any other day.
That's crazy.
Yep. So, and this was over a 25-year study.
Yeah.
You know, they looked at death certificates for the past 25 years and came up with this. Okay, so that's pretty that's pretty thorough. You know, here's another article. It says the most dangerous times on the road. Okay, 100 deadliest days for teens are the period between Memorial Day and Labor Day. Summer vacation for most students has been called the 100 deadliest days for teen drivers. And you see that a lot in the summer when it's nice out. You know, everyone's, trying to do the, what do they call that? The kiki out the car and getting their head smacked on poles, sticking out the windows and shit. You know? Yeah, it's retarded, man. Most dangerous holidays. Okay, 100 deadliest days you know, in the summers, and you got the holidays, you know, which a so-called New Year's is part of that. New Year's Eve ranks 7th with 130 average fatalities, and that's just in the U.S. You know, we're reading about Tokyo over here. Look at these dumbasses. You know, these guys are getting smacked around too. This one says why January 1st is the other day. I think this is going to go into the same article. But as you can see, you know, I was just looking up, you know, average death count for or in New Year's Eve or for New Year's Eve. New Year's revelry takes a grim toll. This was back in 2016 also. So they, you know, they're trying to hide the fact. They came out with it. They told the truth. You know, they brought out their research, and now they're sweeping it under the rug. You know, and it's obvious fatal crashes, the you know, alcohol, drug overdoses, and what are you celebrating? It's the middle of winter. It's death, man.
And you're contributing to it. You know what I'm saying? With you dying, overdose, killing somebody, getting took to prison or whatever else. Yeah.
Real quick precept.
Yeah, come. Yeah, we gotta get the precepts.
This is Psalm 23 and verse 4. Yea, though I walk through the valley of the shadow of death, I will fear no evil, for thou art with me. Thy rod and thy staff, they comfort me. You know,
Yeah.
Valley of the shadow of death.
Come on. Tazir, you had something?
Yeah, this is 2 Measure 16 and 18. It's start at 17. It says, woe is me, who will deliver me in those days? The beginning of sorrows and great mournings, the beginning of famine and great death, the beginning of wars, and the powers shall stand in fear, the beginning of evils. What shall I do when these evils shall come?
Yeah. It said the beginning. You know, who shall deliver me in those days, man? These people, who are you going to call when 911 goes down?
Right.
And the elders and apostles have said that since the beginning of this thing, man. They've been saying it. You know, when you know, who are you going to call when the chariots come? You can call 911. Help! A spiritually powered black man is attacking me. And 911's not going to work. 911's going to be calling 911. You know?
Who's gonna help us? Fuck
Yeah,
you,
who's
who's
gonna
gonna
help
help
them?
us?
Yeah, because in that scenario, it's like when a plane goes down and the oxygen masks fall. What do they say you do first?
Strap it yourself before you do your children.
Right. You gotta help
Before you
yourself
help anybody
before
else.
you can help anyone else.
Yeah.
In any time of disaster or whatever, you have to save yourself in order to help save others. And a lot of people are gonna have a hard time determining whose life is more valuable. You know why? Because no one's going to be there to intercede on their behalf to protect them.
That's going to be a glorious day, man.
Yeah, it's going to be a huge slap of I told you so right in your face, man.
Because these people, they love the fact that they can call the police, man.
Yep.
Like, that is crazy.
That's their hedge of protection right there. Being able to call the cops, being able to call Esau to come in, hem somebody up. You know, that's their protection. That's the reason why they can hold their chin up high. It's because they have that protection right there, man. But once that gets taken away, just like a female that doesn't have the protection of a male no more, when you know the world is in chaos, once that gets taken away, what do they have, man? They're sitting there cowering in a corner because there's nothing there to actually protect them, man. There's nothing there to actually keep whatever trouble or whatever harm from actually touching their skin. You know? So yeah, man.
That pride is out the window.
That pride's out the window. That's why it's beautiful. That scripture says that this is the beginning, man. This is the beginning. We're here in 2019. we're at the cusp of the beginning of society absolutely going slap stupid, man, and losing its whole substance. You know, and it's now is the time more than ever that you gotta have your faith on point, man. Now is more important than it's ever been for you to actually be locked into the spirit of YAHAWASHI, because the world is going through that change period where Esau's on the downfall and Jacob's on his rise, man. You know?
It says, behold, famine and plague, tribulation and anguish, sent as scourges for amendment. But for all these things, they shall not turn away from their wickedness.
Man, and look at 2018 and everything that's happened to the earth. You know what I'm saying? Like Jason A be doing them videos of like shit that happens in these various countries, and these people still is consumed in folly, man, and wickedness and rebellion and satanic worship and fucking child sacrifice. Excuse my French. All that, you know what I'm saying? They still, the Lord is smiting the earth with plagues, and these people still is not turning from wickedness, man. You know? So, and it said that there are scourges of amendment, meaning that to get you right, to steer you, correct you, get you on the right path, man. You know?
All the shit that's, so like, go ahead.
No, go ahead. You got.
All the shit that's happening is signs and wonders from YAHAWASHI showing that he ain't with all the wickedness that's taking place on the planet Earth right now, man. But yet and still, people, and what do especially Americans, man, but really the whole world, they do the same thing, man. Anytime a catastrophic event happens, everybody comes together for a good day or two, maybe a week or two. And then right after that, it's like it never happened, man.
Yeah, we just talking about 9/11.
Yeah.
And that's when Esau wanted to be everybody's, Esau wanted sympathy from
There's this video that was put out on Twitter by
especially
Strategic
niggas.
Command,
Esau
which
wanted
controls.
sympathy from Jake when 9/11 happened, and you had Jake that was actually giving Edomites that sympathy, just like when what was that who was that Malcolm X was saying the house Negro when Master gets sick, he said, "We sick, boss."
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So that was these niggas that was kissing Esau's ass and rubbing his back when 9/11 happened. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, man, it's fucking crazy.
That's that Jim Crow.
Yeah.
That's Jim Crow, man.
Hey, but now this isn't that time though. You know, Esau, you're on your own with this one, buddy. You know what I'm saying? Like, you ain't gonna get on no chariot, man.
It says, but for all these things, they shall not turn from their wickedness, nor be always mindful of the scourges.
Yeah, it's like a goldfish, man. Like you just got a tornado that ran through this part of the country, and a tsunami, and whatever, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But as soon as they go to sleep, they wake up looking in their phones and totally forgot that they got jacked up yesterday for, doing wickedness, man.
Yeah,
They're not mindful of it.
Yep. If I can say this real quick, I was just looking up, the extreme weather events of 2018, you know what I'm saying? They were saying there was a lot of record-breaking events that happened this year as far as extreme weather, through what they're calling climate change, but just from the droughts, the wildfires, the earthquakes that's happened this year, the tsunamis, you know what I'm saying, all that happened this year is breaking records on, you know what I'm saying, they've never seen this scale of extreme catastrophes happening around the world in such short spans of time, you know.
It's not global warming. It's not any of that bullshit they try to say. It's YAHAWASHI judging the earth which He made, man. You know, which is in the scriptures, man. YAHAWASHI is beginning to visit the world which He made.
I got
you know,
which we understand that the Most High is using Esau being that sword to do these things, and
exactly.
like what the brother got pulled up on the screen, that jet or whatever you want to call it, that's part of Esau's sword that the Most High is using to jack the earth up with. But along with that, Esau got these different systems in electronics to where they can actually make clouds, man. They call it cloud seeding. When at a certain type of cloud, they can go up there and seed it at the right temperature and all that, and it'll generate a storm and all that. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, there is so-called climate change going on, but it's not authentic. You know what I'm saying? It's Esau being a damn devil.
Yep.
Part program.
Yeah, there we go. That's what happened. What? So you got
You were finishing up there.
There's well, I read verse 21. It says, "Behold, victuals shall be so good cheap upon earth, that they shall think themselves to be in good case."
You got a $5 box. You know,
Black Friday.
4 for 4. You said what?
Black Friday.
Black Friday.
Sales,
Taco
New Year's
Tuesday.
sales.
You know what I'm saying?
Wing Wednesday.
Wing
Was
Wednesday.
it Cyber Tuesdays?
Yeah, Cyber Tuesdays. A homeless person could hustle up a couple dollars and eat like a king, man. Now. You know?
Yeah, really, like these bums shouldn't be on the corner for too long. You know, you ask me, hey, how long you been out here, man? A couple hours. How you haven't got enough for a 4 for 4?
Right.
You didn't get enough for a $5 meal box?
Philip.
$5 fill up. You know, the 7-Eleven $4 out the door box or some shit. And that just goes to show you that you're really not eating any food, because when you get those things, there's no vegetables. You know what I'm saying? You're lucky to get 2 tomatoes on a burger.
Yeah.
You know, you're lucky to get 2 tomatoes and 2 pickles.
And
You get an onion, that one
lettuce.
that one leaf of lettuce and that one ring of onion.
Onion ring.
Yeah, the
Onion
one ring
ring.
of onion.
A deep fried onion. No nutrients in that shit.
Still.
It says,
Grease.
it says, "Behold, victuals shall be so good cheap upon earth, that they shall think themselves to be in good case. And even then shall evils grow upon the earth, sword, famine, and great confusion."
It's just getting worse. It's just gonna get worse. That's the beautiful thing, man.
And Apostle Har coined this year the year of Charagma. Okay, that's what we're going to be pushing heavy this year, on top of prophecy, on top of destruction and everything else that's come about. And this is the year of Charagma, man. You notice,
Instead of just the mark.
yeah, the year of Charagma.
Yeah, because of the difference between that and the walk.
Exactly. Yeah, because when you say mark of the beast or this or that, you're allowing a flood of misinformation to come through, because people are gonna try to interpret what that is. But Charagma is very specific to a physical cut into your flesh. So this is the year that people are gonna get cut up physically. Hopefully, this is the focus. And 2019, you can see that a lot of companies are going to try to move this way. A lot of governments are going to move this way. And to hell with these, the study with these animals getting tumors and cancers from the chip are few and far in between, enough to where they can justify it on humans to say, you know what, if they died, their body was just too weak anyway. And then with the implementation, the of 5G coming, you get that 5G microchip.
We're gonna charge them up.
Yeah, hey, people, you're gonna have your chip in your hand with your phone, and you're gonna get all those warm, funny feelings, and it's not sexual attraction.
We're gonna light them up.
All right.
It is no coincidence that people are getting sick more often now, because it tells you the chip is generated through temperature changement in your body. So that's where a lot of that chemtrails and all that shit comes from too, because when you're getting sick, your temperature is changing. You're going hot to cold, and that is what's going to generate that chip. So everything is all to one focus.
Yeah.
It's all one focus.
Now,
New
what's
World
that?
Order. Yeah.
So I don't know. So
No, you gotta go.
cut you off, bro.
Sorry, you got it.
What you said?
The chip.
No. The chemtrails.
Chemtrails.
And
Yeah.
that's breaking down the immune system.
Yeah,
so that's,
exactly.
So
So everything it all comes down to one focus,
Yeah.
man. Hey, Esau is a perfect devil, man. He's a perfect devil.
That man, the chemtrails, the water, everything, just breathing breaks down your immune system, man.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying?
It's being
Like,
alive.
there was a brother that did a video. I forgot what brother it was, but basically he was getting into that. Oh, it was a brother from Mississippi and a brother from North Carolina, Ashiyar. They did a lesson getting in on eating underlying factor was that we're, we in a fucked up society. We're eating fucked up and all that. But eat to the best of your ability what you can and cannot eat, and take care of your diet and all that. But ultimately, it's like we're in a situation where we gotta fight just to be able to live without being fucked up, man. You know what I'm saying? We gotta fight to live, pretty much. That's the position we're in, man. And everything is breaking our immune system down, man.
Yeah, it's very hard to repair yourself.
Yeah.
Because you got the factor of sleep, which is a pattern. It's your digestive system, and it's posture. And then throughout the day, you're still with these things. Posture, what you're walking on, how you're walking, how you're moving. Your digestive system, what you're putting in. When are you feeding yourself? Your portion control, how often? And then, what's readily available around you. So it's a lot of responsibility to just be healthy, man. You know what I'm saying? Like, it is a lot of factors that come into play. While you're asleep, what are the things around you? Do you have a lot of electronics on in your room? Are you sleeping with a lot of electronics plugged in and just by something being plugged in? You got your phone. You know what I'm saying? Because you need this is the all-in-one tool right here. This is your calendar, your email, your contacts, your Wi-Fi, your alarm clock, your bank account, it's everything, man. It's your communication, your contact to the outside world. And it never you didn't have to live like this before.
Can I read this real quick?
That chip.
It was so simple too.
Hey, cause I heard this on the radio earlier. I listen to the news station on the radio sometimes, and I'm gonna read this. I just typed it in on Google. It says in the United States, 1 in 2 women and 1 in 3 men will develop cancer in their lifetime. Now, a similar rate has been reported in the UK, with a new study published by the British Journal of Cancer, claiming 1 in 2 men and women will be diagnosed with the disease at some point in their lives. So that's the ratio that they have current for today, is that 1 in 2 women or 1 in 3 men is gonna be diagnosed with cancer in their life.
And you know why it's those women? Because they're not content unless they're out and about every day. They gotta do something. They gotta get, you gotta go out for a dessert. They want the cotton candy, they want the ice cream, they want the candies, they want the popcorn, they want the sodas. And you hit them with the salad, like, what is that? Get some chicken strips, get some dipping sauce, get some some deep fried this and egg wrap that, and it's like, damn.
They want that seafood too.
Yeah. Yeah, they want that bug meat. They want to eat all the fucking underwater bug meat.
Everything acidic is destroying your body.
And their bodies are already more acidic naturally. You know what I'm saying? So look, man, we're in, like the brother YAHAWAH says, we're in the worst case scenario, man. And I think it was that brother that did a video showing that 41 million abortions took place in 2018.
41 million.
41 million
What?
abortions.
Fucking horrors.
So do you think it's a so-called black woman, or you think it's more Edomites, just fucking around and having oopsie daisy days?
That's everybody, but I say that's predominantly Jake. It's curses. Their eyes show evil towards their children.
Yeah. Because really, that's where all the Planned Parenthoods are set up, is in our neighborhoods, man.
Hey, well, most likely half of those babies would have had cancer anyway.
If I could say something on the cancer, I was just watching a video. They were saying that they're about to start putting those 5G devices on just the light poles, the light poles outside of people's houses, and they're gonna be like every 50 to 100, 500 feet close together. That's how because the way it works is it's not like the satellites and things like that to where it's far apart. They need it close together so that it can be interconnected.
That
near field communication.
Yep.
NFC.
Yep.
It's literally like we're literally gonna be living under like a spider web, like
Yep.
a electric spider web,
Hey,
like
it tells
blanket
you.
in the whole earth.
The scriptures tell you that his heart is snares and traps. He is the harbinger of death, man. You know.
Like literally, like Esau literally microwaving us, man.
Yeah.
That too.
That's why everybody has cancer, man. Getting you.
I got something real quick.
I want to read this.
Oh, go ahead.
No, you got it.
Alright, no, you got it.
Okay, Salak. I'm gonna
Somebody
read it.
got it.
I'm gonna read it right off the phone. This is Ecclesiastes chapter 7, verse 26. It says, "And I find more bitter than death the women whose heart is snares and nets." So like in her hands. So like it just the phone just did some weird shit on me just now. It says and her hands as bands whoso pleaseth the Most High shall escape from her, but the sinner shall be taken by her.
Yeah, at this point, man, you know, women is just it's just a woman, you know. You just deal with them and just leave it at that. You don't gotta worry about stressing out or going any of that bullshit. You just deal with them and keep it pushing, man. You know what I'm saying? They gonna be demons. They gonna be who the fuck they gonna be. All right, whatever. We in the worst case scenario, like the brother said. There's way bigger fish to fry and shit that we gotta worry about than them demons, man. You know. But I mean, that explains the 41 million abortions that took place in 2018, man. You know.
Those women can also be in likens to the philosophy that's going on, man. You know, because a lot of people's minds is actually poison. You know what I'm saying? The American mindset is poison. You know what I'm saying? Anybody that's following after that type of ordeal, following after Esau, that shit's poison, man. So, on a spiritual tip, that woman could be that sending out those snares and those nets is also following after this Edomite state of mind, man. You know?
And
Let me read this real quick.
So
Psalms 64 and 5. They encourage themselves in an evil matter. They commune of laying snares privately. They say, "Who shall see them?" You know, because, like it says, you know, when they practice mischief upon their bed, when the morning is light, they practice it. So they do all these things and try to fluff it up like, oh, it's a good thing, and just overnight you're gonna have some guy while you're at work or something putting up all these things around your home and your neighborhood and your community, and it's not gonna be really to your benefit, although they'll say it is, but they're not gonna bring out. One thing I learned a while ago was that anytime any new medicine or technology comes out, there's a study that's supposed to last for about 70 years that never takes place because there's not enough funding. Who's going to fund something for 70 years with no profit?
Yeah.
But that's how long it takes to do a study for humans to figure out what really happens. And you got to have age brackets. You need to have different ethnicities for these age brackets and gender, men and women. You know, you have to have all these different conditions to figure out what are the variables. Their diet. Is this person more, you know, carb or, you know, a vegetable or, you know, what kind of food they're consuming? You see?
And that even shows you how weak men is or man is. Period. You know what I'm saying? The fact that they take just 70 years. When you look at 70 years, that ain't shit, man. Compared to what we supposed to be living. You know, we supposed to. First of all. In the kingdom of heaven, we gonna live forever, man. But think about Adam, he lived 900 years, man. Over 900 years. And so on and so forth. It got shorter and shorter throughout time, but in the ancient world, we was living hundreds of years, man. Now it's 70 years is the average life expectancy of a man.
40 years old,
you know what I'm saying? 40 years old, your body is already lost 50% of its testosterone and all the rest of it. You know, you're pretty much just waiting to die, man. That ain't right. You know, the foundation of the earth is out of course, man.
That's why that hot pocket time has been so sped up. That's why these companies can't afford to do that 70 years worth of research, man. They don't got 70 years themselves.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So, you know, that's why they want to do, you know, 1 year, maybe 2 years worth of research and then release it to the public. You know, present that to the FDC or the, you know, Center of Disease and Control or whatever the hell, and the CDC. You know what I'm saying? Present that to them and let them okay it, so that way they can go ahead and push it forth, because they don't got the time nor the resources to actually do that extensive research to figure out what's going on, you know?
You know, he had but a short time. I just want to finish this in 2nd Ezra 16 and 22. For many of them that dwell upon earth shall perish of famine, and the other that escape the hunger shall the sword destroy.
That's right.
And the dead shall be cast out as dung, and there shall be no man to comfort them, for the earth shall be wasted, and the city shall be cast down.
That's the times to come, man, and you're gonna see that. I believe we're gonna see that more and more in this year of 2019, in the time that's to come, the time that's very near, and that's coming upon us. We're gonna see more and more of scenarios like that, where people are gonna be in these dire situations, man. You know, fleeing from pestilence, or from Esau dropping bombs on them, or you know, Esau invading them at gunpoint. You know what I'm saying, and so on and so forth. You're gonna see more and more of that ramping up, man. That it's not gonna stop. It's been going on. We've been noticing it and speaking about it for, you know, however many years since we've noticed it, and it's just gonna continue, and it's gonna pick up the pace, you know.
Hey, they've been conditioning the minds of the people, you know, for that time, man. You know, with these different movies and TV shows, man. You know, I was just watching a movie on Netflix called Aftershock. You know, about an earthquake that happened down in, I think it was Argentina, if I'm not mistaken. You know, and people was on their cell phones trying to call for 911. You know, wasn't no 911. It was bugging out. People was getting ran over. Okay, women were getting raped. All right. You know, hey, it's a lot of movies out there, man. The Purge, like the brother said earlier. You know, that put you in that right mind state of things to come, man.
It show you in that movie, one of them newer Die Hard movies. The whole scheme of the movie was the boy was taking away certain systems that was gonna crash the whole grid. One of the first things they take away is communications.
Yep.
They drop all the communications, then they drop all the power. But communications, when communications is down,
you see
the whole world goes in chaos.
What just happened the other day?
Yep. Taking down 911.
CenturyLink and
the take away that, everything goes in disarray, because we know you can't call the police.
Yeah.
So motherfuckers is gonna do the most, whatever they can do until shit comes back to order.
Mm-hmm.
You know.
It breaks into chaos immediately.
Hurricane Katrina.
Hey. Like a teacher, when a teacher walk out the class, the whole class act their ass. And, And when the teacher come back in the class, everybody, you know. So that's what.
Meanwhile, there's paper airplanes stuck all over the pencils everywhere. You know,
there's tags. You put tags on the teacher.
Somebody done graffitied the board. Hey,
spitballs and shit.
I wanted to say that's a strategic move, man. That's a military strategic move, is to take out communication, to take out healthcare. You know what I'm saying? To take out the facilities that can actually help people. That's strategic to destroy the enemy, man. You know, keep them from being able to form. That's why they got that whole concept of divide and conquer. Keep them from being able to communicate. Then they can't actually, you know, rally up with each other to fight against you.
And that's what Esau's trying to do with the chip, man. You know, they're trying to cut out that communication with Israel, so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans with the Most High, man. You know, they're trying to cut off that frequency, that communication.
Yep.
Yeah, it's crazy because like in the Apocrypha you had the account where first, when all these systems go down and people can't call the cops, it's not in people's minds to first and foremost, when something happens, like for us brothers, when something happens, we call upon YAHAWASHI, YAHAWASHI. You know what I'm saying? Before anything. But these people's minds don't work like that. While they have access to 911, they think about Esau. Alright, and when this system collapsed, they still gonna be thinking about Esau. Even if they, I just about to say that, even if they're calling on Jesus or whatever, they still thinking about a so-called white man.
Mm-hmm.
But for us, it's not like that. So in the Apocrypha, there's an account where I forget who it was, but the Edomite was coming to pretty much jack up Israel, and they all called upon YAHAWASHI, YAHAWASHI, and he delivered them. You know what I'm saying? So and that's what the men of the Lord. That's what we gonna do, because we see all this stuff about to happening and increasing, and we just know that in whatever situation we get placed in through the Spirit, we gonna call upon YAHAWASHI, YAHAWASHI. You know.
That's our only
That's
our only lifeline, man. It's just like when you're playing a game and you can put certain skills into attributes. We put every point that we get into the, you know what I'm saying, being able to call on YAHAWASHI, YAHAWASHI, into that trust and that belief in YAHAWASHI, YAHAWASHI, that his words are true, that we will be protected if we are truly following after him. You know? So we max out that skill point. Yeah, go ahead.
I appreciate it. Ecclesiastes 12:1, it says, "Remember now thy Creator in the days of thy youth, while the evil days come not, nor the years draw nigh, when thou shalt say, I have no pleasure in them."
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, because evil times is coming, which brothers and apostles been prophesying for so many years, man. And now it's the year of the chip, man. That's the brothers, you heard it.
Year Charagma.
Yeah, year Charagma, man. That's a statement more than even saying the chip, because that's what it actually is. Charagma, man. It's that. Yeah. So these evil days is coming, but if you ain't seeking the Lord now, when the time comes, it's too late to seek Him.
Mm-hmm.
Don't seek Him when everything's already crumbled and now you want somebody to save you. You should be looking for deliverance just off of what you're seeing in this world, period. You know what I'm saying? Everything's backwards.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, you gotta seek the Lord, man.
That's why a lot of people's gonna get caught out there, man. So a lot of people's gonna get caught out there as far as Israelites. You know, Jake, you know, a lot of the 2/3, they're gonna get caught out there because they think they got so much time, and they're not considering that the day of the Lord comes as a thief in the night.
It says, measure thou the time diligently in itself. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Yeah.
That's right.
Just real quick, this brother was talking about deliverance, and this is getting into David when he was getting compassed about his enemies, and he called on the Lord, and the Lord sent down a chariot to deliver him. This is 2 Samuel 22:1. "And David spake unto the Most High the words of this song in the day that Yahawah had revealed him, so like he delivered him out of the hands of all his enemies and out of the hands of Saul. And he said, Yahawah is my rock and my fortress and my deliverer, the power of my rock. The power of my rock, in him will I trust. He is my shield and the horn of my salvation, my high tower and my refuge, my Savior. Thou savest me from violence. I will call on the Most High, who is worthy to be praised. So shall I be saved from mine enemies. When the waves of death compassed me, the floods of ungodly men made me afraid. The sorrows of hell compassed me about. The snares of death prevented me. In my distress I called upon Yahawah and cried to my power. And he did hear my voice out of his temple. And my cry did enter into his ears. Then the earth shook and trembled. The foundations of heaven moved and shook, because he was wroth. There went up a smoke out of his nostrils, and a fire out of his mouth devoured. Coals were kindled by it. He bowed the heavens also, and came down and darkness was under his feet. And he rode upon a cherub, and did fly. And he was seen upon the wings of the wind, and he made darkness pavilions round about him, dark waters and thick clouds of the skies. Through the brightness before him were coals of fire kindled.
If I could just say real quick, man, like when I hear scriptures like that, it always, of course, it reminds me that the judgment of the Lord is coming. But it also always, gives me that hope that the Most High is going to perform those actions that He said. He's going to be that protector for somebody, man. He's going to be that defender for somebody, man. Like somebody is going. They got to feel that lot of being protected by the Heavenly Father. They got to feel that lot of receiving that mercy. You know what I'm saying? So it always opens up that huge door of hope. You know what I'm saying? That not too many people find. Yeah. So that's always something that I take away from that's very comforting.
The thick edge.
Now, Lord willing, that's us.
I can put precept. This is Proverbs 18:10. It says, "The name of the Lord is a strong tower. The righteous run into it, and is safe." Hey, the Lord is a tower that we seek for shelter, man. Hey, that's our protection. That's our defense. Is the name of the Lord and His begotten Son, man. YAHAWAH, YAHAWASHI, man. Those are the names that protect us, man. We believe in those names. We have faith in those names. Hey, and that's it, man.
Buckler.
Yeah.
This is First Maccabees 3:52. And lo, the heathen are assembled together against us to destroy us. What things they imagine against us, thou knowest. How shall we be able to stand against them, except thou, O Most High, be our help? And that's pretty much the situation we in right now, man. Not pretty much. That is the situation we in right now. Is we relying on YAHAWASHI to deliver us out of all the madness, chaos, and ultimately from the hour of temptation, man.
Yeah.
Where Esau is gonna come with that great wrath, forcing upon the masses of the people his RFID chip, man, which is the mark of the beast. And if you ain't in the spirit and power of YAHAWASHI, or if the YAHAWASHI ain't supping with you and got your back, hey, it's pretty much destruction for you, man. That's all you gotta look forward to.
Right.
So that's why it's imperative to preach the right doctrine and listen to what's being taught versus just going off of emotions and I feel like this is right and that ain't right and this is nah, man. Listen to what's being spoken and adhere to the spirit, man.
This is 2 Ezra chapter 2 verse 27. Be not weary, for when the day of trouble and heaviness cometh, others shall weep and be sorrowful, but thou shalt be merry and have abundance. The heathen shall envy thee, but they shall be able to do nothing against thee, said the Lord.
We gotta remember too that the Lord is slowly shifting the curses to the heathen, man. Yeah, we're going through hell, but as Ezekiel says, this is the time of the heathen. So all these events that's happening around the world where these countries are getting jacked up, a lot of those is heathen nations, man. So they're approaching the beginning of their woes, and we're approaching the end of our, as Second Ezra says.
Yeah, precept to back up what Tazi already read is at Hebrews 7:25. I'll start at 24. It says, "But this man, because he continueth ever, hath an unchangeable priesthood. Wherefore he is able to save them to the utmost that come unto Yahawah by him, seeing he ever liveth to make intercession for them." So like the brother said, like these heathen that have gathered round about us, like who's gonna save us? Just like everyone experienced with the 911 going down, the call center went down. hey, if you were working at that call center that day, you were either like, well, we ain't working today, you know, or you were very adamant about working at the call center, like, oh my god, someone needs help.
People are calling right now.
You know, they're losing it, you know? They're losing it, man.
Yeah.
So, hey, we have a hedge of a protection. Matter of fact, did your brothers get Psalms 91 yet?
And the president at the call center,
I got you, man.
figured out that's all patriotic and want to help everybody. They on their social media account. Since the phones don't work, they on the social media account. You guys need help? Just get my personal cell phone number.
Yeah.
You know.
I still got connections.
Somebody come pick you up.
Yeah, see, maybe they had a Twitter account or an Instagram, and you know they put something out like, hey, if it's a real emergency, you know, I'm sure they gave them some sort of instruction, or you would think that that plan would be in place. But that also shows the pride of America, that they think that nothing is ever going to happen to them, so there is no need for a protocol.
For a backup plan.
And you saw that with what happened in Hawaii. When they had that missile thing, you had people picking up manhole lids and sliding their children into the sewers.
Yeah.
Hey, people were bugging, man. So that shows you that America is the proud, man. That when you read in Obadiah, the book of Obadiah, which none of these other people want to get into, just like they don't want to get into the word Charagma, it's all too revealing, you know. Your brothers had precepts.
I had Psalm 91.
Oh yeah. Come on. So like, Ash, what are you holding?
I got 2nd Ezra 8 and 50.
Okay.
For many great miseries shall be done to them that in the later time shall dwell in the world, because they have walked in great pride.
Hey, that's beautiful. That's in the spirit right there. So many great miseries shall happen to them because they've walked in great pride. And you notice the Most High is reserving His judgment for this end time, and He's giving people every opportunity to opt out of wickedness. But there's no profit in this society with this mindset that you're forced into to opt away. Like, there's no incentive to do good.
Yeah.
There's no incentive. People you tell them about that's the white man's book. Oh, that's old. That's the aliens and people tampered with. They have all these weirdo, sci-fi answers, man.
It's more of a burden to do the right thing, and it's the way that the world's set up right now. It's more of a burden to be doing the right thing according to the scriptures than it is just to go with the flow that the world has.
But this is why the Lord said when He returns, shall He find faith? Because really, that's what's happened. People don't have faith anymore. You know, it's hard when you lose faith in the power that created you, man. When you lose that faith, man, oh boy. Go ahead.
So,
the scripture says, it's like hope deferred maketh the heart sick. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, which the heart is your mind. You know, so the Most High, and for us, He's not going to defer, He's not going to defer it. It's coming quick. We see it coming quicker and quicker.
Nearer than when you believe.
Right. But for others, they're like, man, it's been hundreds of years and nothing's changed, and the so-called white man, he must be God because he's who can stop him? And that's what it says in Revelations. Who is like unto her, man? How has the golden city ceased? How has the oppressor ceased? Who beat up the bully? Who stopped them?
Who's our
Who saved
hero?
us? Who made intercession?
Who's our hero?
And that's why the scripture tells you that in that day, in the kingdom, not every man's going to have to go to his neighbor. Hey, do you know who YAHAWAH is? Have you heard of this YAHAWASHI? You know who the Israelites are? You're not going to have that weird, you're going to smack somebody. What?
Hey,
You know?
world renowned.
Yeah, hey, the truth's so good, makes you want to slap your mama. Ain't that right, Willie? Yeah, boy, yeah. Come here, mama. Well,
You were supposed to be active.
Hey, yeah, because one of these false pastors and teachers, they say, tell us smooth things. You ain't tired of that barbecue from up the street? Want to give you more sauce? Don't give me. They won't give you truth.
Real
Yo,
talk.
come on down. Brother Barbecue.
This is Jeremiah 4:22, going what you were saying a little bit earlier. For my people is foolish, they have not known me. They are silent children, and they have none understanding. They are wise to do evil.
Hey, even for these jakes that think they so far woke, they have none understanding. As woke as they ass is, they sleepwalking.
Yeah.
Y'all put that in air quotation. As woke as
As
they
woke
ass
as
is.
they ass is. Sleepwalking, man.
It says they are wise to do evil, but to do good they have no knowledge.
Yeah, to do good, they have no knowledge, man. They don't know what's going on. These people have no clue what's really happening, man. So it's a beautiful thing the Spirit was put on Apostle Hart to call this the year of Charagma, man. Because you guys can't dance around. That's the main thing. When you see all these guys breaking down what the mark of the beast is, they dance around the word Charagma. You know, and that inspired me to do that video. You better teach to not take the RFID chip because it's against the law to cut your flesh open and put something inside there.
That's a checkmate move.
That's hey man, the Most High has a spirit on us to checkmate people, man.
And he got a spirit on Esau to checkmate motherfuckers too.
Yeah.
Cause that's what Esau's gonna push.
Yep.
Got you, nigga.
Yep. You're gonna have to pick a side. You're gonna have to choose, man. And hey, people are gonna be like, well, if I don't, then I'm dead. My kids are dead. So what, man? What is it to gain the world and lose your whole soul, man? You see, because the wisdom isn't in them. The precepts aren't abiding in them. They haven't cleaned the home to allow a new tenant to come in. They still got someone living in the attic or in the basement, and they're camped out there waiting.
In the cabinet and
Yeah,
shit.
every
Squatters'
time
rights.
every time the master of the house leaves, they go downstairs and they take a shower. You know, they portion out enough food so they can't tell that something's been taken.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
But something don't feel right when you're in the home.
Yeah.
You know.
This is Revelation chapter 3. I'm gonna start at verse 15. I know thy works, that thou art neither cold nor hot. I would thou wert cold or hot. So then, because thou art lukewarm and neither cold nor hot, I will spew thee out of my mouth.
Yep. Hey, you gotta pick a side, man. You gotta choose. Because at the end of the day, you have to answer and atone for the things that you've done. You have to sit before that judgment seat. Everyone says only God can judge me. Oh, it's gonna happen. It's gonna happen, and when it does, you're gonna be upset, and you're gonna try to blame others, like the rich man and Lazarus. Well, let me send someone to warn them. Like, why didn't I? Let me get it. Come on, like, be fair. Well, when were you fair, man?
They ain't listen to the prophets that makes you think they're gonna listen.
Right. And the Most High's gonna hit him with that Will Smith. I sent you 3 boats.
And you know, YAHAWASHI has said something along the lines of, he didn't come into the world to condemn it, like, cause it's already condemned. Like, if you're not listening to Moses and the prophets, you know, like the brother was saying with Lazarus, if you're not listening to the men that spoke of prophecies that's literally happening now, what makes these people ain't gonna listen to us? Because all we're doing is coming with the same message. You know, so if you ain't listening to the apostles and elders, like, you're out of there. You're going to die.
Yeah.
Like, and that as crazy as that sounds, that's for us. We've been waiting for the Lord to just open up and just kill a lot of fucking people, man. And us to just Abaratazah sit back and just be like, I fucking told you so, man. I told you so. Yeah, patiently wait. What did I say?
Then you have no problem that's been among you.
It's gonna fuck these people's heads up, man.
I told you.
It's gonna fuck their head. Excuse my French, man. I'm excited. It's gonna mess their heads up, man. Like what? Like this whole time, this was a man of the Lord, a prophet. You know, our Ratazah, we are the elect, and you know, I thought he was crazy, or you know, that's gonna be a glorifying feeling, man.
Even the angels is patiently waiting for his place to go, you know, holding back the 4 winds.
God.
go, and then it's on after that.
Imagine the miracles that the angels is gonna be performing, because each brother got like a guardian angel, you know, and imagine the scenarios in which Abarazazah, they're gonna guide you in the right path, and you know, like deliverance, and like they're eager to perform those tasks. You know what I'm saying? So like, hey man, this is a beautiful time we're living in, man.
Hey, just like the destruction and death that's coming to this earth, that's a spirit that's willing to perform its task. I tell you, that's the rock. You know what I'm saying? Those plagues, they're gonna please the Heavenly Father. When He says it, it's a spirit that's put out that's going, and it's gonna please the Heavenly Father too.
It's a commandment that has to be it's a commandment, which means that there's an action that has to take place. Someone has to actually perform that action, and the scriptures tell you that the word does not come back void to the Heavenly Father. So everything that He's spoken, all that has to physically take. You know what I'm saying? It physically has to be done. You see what I'm saying? So whoever's task it is to actually perform that, they're gonna be eager to do it. That's why you could tell Great Millstone. You know what I'm saying? Like through the Apostle Tahar, the apostles, the elders, and the camp leaders, and the brothers going. You know what I'm saying? All the way down the ranks. Like we are here to actually perform that task that the Heavenly Father put on the prophets here upon the earth, man, which is to teach the truth, to do it openly and freely. You know what I'm saying? To not back down and to go into all the topics that, you know what I'm saying, whatever, to have that answer to give to any man. You know, and here it is. We're actually performing that work. So of course we can expect to receive that defense.
Through the spirit and power of YAHAWASHI.
Exactly.
And going what you were saying is like, yeah, you got angels that's waiting and willing to perform the task. And the scriptures tell you that there's 4 angels holding back the four winds, which represents the destruction that's coming to pass. And the Lord, as soon as the Lord gives them that commandment to let those winds go, that's what's going to happen, man.
Exactly what his brother just said.
Yeah, exactly. You know what I'm saying? That destruction is going to happen, man. Point blank, period.
I was just doing a Google search for the image search for the word Charagma, and I came across this plant. It says Charagma is a genus of plants with only 2 species from the family of cactus family, Cactaceae. I'm not sure if I'm pronouncing that right. I doubt it. It says the botanical name is composed of the Greek a or as in or on. A or on, I guess is the pronunciation without. Okay, and Charagma for furrow. Now, if you know what this furrow is, when you look up the word Charagma, okay, it says he points to the missing furrow on the warts. This is a feature in which the genus differs from the closely related genus Escobaria. Okay, so when you look up this word furrow,
doesn't it mean like to dig in?
It says a long, narrow trench made in the ground by a plow, especially for planting seeds or for irrigation. It says make a rut, groove, or trail in the ground or another surface. A line or wrinkle in a person's face. Yeah. Okay, it says make a cut, groove, or trail in the ground. Okay, we read that one. Mark or be marked with lines or wrinkles caused by frowning, anxiety, concentration. Okay, furrowed fields. So Germanic, Old English, Firth, Dutch, Vor, German, Forche or Forsch, furrow.
It's still leaving a mark.
Right, and that's the whole imagery of the word. The whole imagery of the word is that this thing, whenever you get a long, you ever got a long sliver in your thumb or your finger, and when you pull it out, or when you were a kid, maybe you played with paper clips, or you saw a kid and they would put it on top layer of their skin. They would show you how it was hanging from their feet.
Yeah.
And then when they pulled it out, what was it? It was a long furrow.
Yep.
And you see, like, you know how the skin was a transparent color.
It stretched it.
Because right. So this is exactly what it's explaining. A furrow, man.
Oh, you know,
Charagma.
that's doing another thing. It's letting you know it's something that's physically that's gonna happen to you.
Yep.
So you can't say it's Christianity or an embargo, or it's something that's gonna physically have to happen to you for you to have this thing. You know.
It's an incision in the flesh, man.
Yeah.
You know, I had back in fucking like 2nd or 3rd grade, I got stabbed with a pencil somehow, and to this day that mark is in the middle of my hand right now. So it's the same thing with that mark, Charagma. You know, incision in the flesh. When they imprint you with that RFID chip, or put that RFID chip in you, your right hand, forehead, or butt cheek, wherever the hell you get it put in. You know what I'm saying? It's gonna leave that distinct mark to let you know, like, hey, this motherfucker got the mark of the beast, man. And then you are through. You're condemned to thermonuclear destruction, man.
Yeah.
You know, death, and if not by martial law and torture and all that, and FEMA camps and all that, it's gonna be by thermonuclear destruction.
It's gonna be a plague
Death
for
by
sure.
pain. Death by pain.
I got that. That's cool.
Yo, that's it, man.
This Second Ezra chapter 9 verse 9. Then shall they be in pitiful case, which now have abused my ways, and they that have cast them away despitefully shall dwell in torments. For such as in their life have received benefits and have not known me, and they that have loathed my law while they had yet liberty, and when as yet place of repentance was opened unto them, understood not, but despised it, the same must know it after death by pain.
Which knew his ways yet despised it, man. Or it said they said they knew but they understood not.
They loathed.
So they loathed it, which is what we're going through with the doctrine of the mark of the beast, man. They know of the doctrine that we teach here at Great Millstone, starting with the apostles and elders on down through the spirit and power of YAHAWASHI. They know of it, but they understood not, yet they despise it. So what do? They teach contrary to it, man. And then they get together with other non-believers that teach the same, or not the same, but different doctrines than what they teach as far as concerning the mark of the beast. But one common thing that they have within each other is, oh, it ain't the RFID chip like Great Millstone teaches. So all right, you cool, we gonna get together. And they understood not, but yet despised it. So what are they gonna do? The same must understand it after death by pain.
That's right.
Can I say something on that point, man? Hey, you people are gonna feel real silly. You're gonna feel real silly when that's your only excuse, is that the reason I didn't teach this, or the reason I was so against it, was just because Great Millstone said it. Great Millstone said it first. You know what I'm saying? Great Millstone found that out first, and that's the reason why I was so against it, man. You know what I'm saying? When you gotta explain that to when you gotta explain that in the judgment seat, you know what I'm saying? That's the reason why you didn't tell your congregation that the mark of the beast was the RFID microchip. Or that, you know what I'm saying, the reason you kept shifting the you know what I'm saying, the mark of the beast to everything else except the RFID microchip was just because you wanted to, you know, stick it to Great Millstone or something. Hey man, you people are gonna feel real silly off of that, man. You know, you're gonna be real ashamed when you have to explain that to the Heavenly Father, man.
Yeah, come on.
Hey, look, this is a theological dictionary of the New Testament, and for that word charagma, what's highlighted is an etched, branded, or inscribed mark or sign closest to the original sense. In the earliest example, denotes the bite of a snake. Elsewhere, the term means an inscription or anything written. Also, the individual character, another Greek word, and especially impressed imprinted stamp, e.g., a brand or mark, or a brand to mark camels, or often an official stamp on writings, e.g. So then it starts going into where it says something on money, a stamp or printing money, and I'm thinking this is where some of these guys are coming up with this false interpretation. Because, well, as you can see here, they're saying Charagma, mark of the beast, and what are they showing? Money. Because, and why are they associating with it? Because you can't buy or sell without it.
Right.
Okay, but this isn't that society.
That's a
Okay. This is a more closer representation to it. Okay, because it has to be a physical mark in your body. There is no law against exchanging money. Okay? There is a law against physically cutting your flesh open, though. You're not supposed to do that. And then they do away with, or they got a whole another meaning and understanding for the 666. The number of a man, which the UPC and 666 go hand in hand. The Universal Product Code. UPC 666. Okay? It's a binary language, man.
And that's a spirit that is they use it showed the snake because that's that old serpent, man.
You know what? Look at this. You got the left hand bars and the right hand bars. You know, not that that means anything, but isn't that funny? You know, isn't that funny? So look, it's right there. You know. This is a pseudo 666. You know, so people want to debunk it. So-called, oh, I debunked this, I debunked that. But look, man, it's that's what this chip is. This chip is a 666, and look at this. There's another binary language where this is a 6, a 6, and a 6. There's a different type of a code scanner. So believe it or not, whatever you want to say, look, it is what it is, man.
Mark of the beast.
Yeah, this is what it is, man.
Something that came into my mind is when you read saying that it was likened unto a snake bite. The thing about snakes, the only thing that makes snakes really scary is their bite, man. For most snakes, other than big snakes like anacondas, you know what I'm saying?
It's the venom.
But for
the
the
poison.
most of them, right, it's that poison which they can only, you know, if they don't got that poison, if they can't bite you, then they're harmless. You know, if they can't break that skin, then they're harmless. You know, and that's what gives that snake that power.
And that goes into the coagula, that sunken place, man. You know, that's all the system that Esau has set forth, man.
And the chip got poison in it too, the cyanide.
Yeah. And the battery, which is lithium.
And the cancer-causing, tumor-creating scenario.
Frequency going in and out.
Yeah, that's a poison to your body.
That's just death in all aspects of it being created.
Just that foreign object.
Cancer rate gonna go from half to 1
We have completed our enterprise. That's why I tell you in what's that Job 20 what?
2024.
Yeah, 2024. Yeah.
Esau go get people chipped up, and every Edomite gonna look like Donald Trump. Be glowing and shit. Fucking green.
With wigs on.
Like a Smurf that been drinking too much colloidal silver. Or Edomite drinking too much colloidal silver, turn it blue.
Hey, another mistake a lot of these guys make, these copycat Israelites, these Hebrew merchandites, they'll read the usage but ignore the definition. The usage is not the definition of the word. It's just showing you how it's used and in which manner and fashion. Okay? But when you go to the definition, it tells you a scratch or etching, i.e. stamp, as a badge of servitude. So it's telling you exactly right there, man. An imprinted mark. The mark branded upon horses. Okay? Anacreon 2655-2. Okay, so I'm gonna look that up too, but I mean it's clear as day, man. Go ahead.
Job 20:22. In the fullness of his sufficiency, he shall be in straits, but it says every hand of the wicked shall come upon him. When he is about to fill his belly, the Most High shall cast the fury of his wrath upon him, and shall rain it upon him while he is eating.
Yeah, and when is he trying to eat, man? He's trying to eat when he has everybody chipped when he has everybody chipped, when he's depopulating the earth to a reasonable number to himself, when he has full control of the masses and whatever they're doing, they're surveilled, they can't do nothing without him. When he has full control over everything, that's what he wants.
As the Apostle Gabar said, total control.
Total control. So when he's trying to obtain that control, that's when the Most High is going to come and disrupt his whole program.
While he's eating. That's
While
it.
he's eating.
Like eating souls, devouring souls.
Yeah. Come.
Revelation 18, found in Babylon, the souls of men.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, what did was Aaron Russo? One of the things he said, one of the things he asked Nick Rockefeller in an interview was like, you have everything, you have all the money, all the gold, all the women, all that. You know what I'm saying? Like, what could you possibly want more? And he told him, like, look, they have everybody chipped, so that's his.
Right. That's the end game.
Yeah.
That's their whole agenda right there. Have everyone microchipped. Otherwise, why would they have killed Aaron Russo? I mean, he came out with that and shortly later died. You know. You guys got precepts?
Yeah, I got some also. Going back to Revelings.
Oh
He
yeah.
started up. He started on Revelings, which being in the spirit of reveling, have you in the spirit of the revel, and in the spirit of the revel is gonna have you take that microchip. So that's why it's good to not be in the spirit of the revel, because you steer clear of that. You know. So this is 1 Peter 4:1. For as much then as Hamashiach has suffered for us in the flesh, arm yourselves likewise with the same mind. For he that hath suffered in the flesh hath ceased from sin, that he no longer. And the third verse, when I was waking up to the truth, just always stuck with me. It says, "For he that hath suffered in the flesh hath ceased from sin." Verse 2, that he no longer should live the rest. This point right here, verse 2. That he no longer should live the rest of his time in the flesh to the lust of men, but to the will of the Most High. So we ain't supposed to be, concerned with the shit. New Year's, man. Niggas just went broke for fucking Christmas.
And now they broke again.
And now they about to go broke again, just so they can get a outfit to wear one time probably.
Yeah.
To knock some hoes.
You know, a lot of people don't take anything serious until it's too late, right?
Mm-hmm.
So some companies don't allow you to use your paid time off, or if you don't use it by the end of the year, you can't use it. So a lot of people towards this end of the year, what did they do? They didn't come to work the day before, the day after Christmas, or they
2
take.
weeks.
Yeah, hey, everyone's like, well, I gotta use my time, otherwise I lose it. You know, so a lot of people they're lazy. They're not gonna do anything until the last possible moment. They're like, I'm gonna put it off until the last possible moment. It's like, look, man, that shows you that look, as the days are fast approaching, there's gonna be an increase. There's gonna be an increase, man. The Most High is gonna increase. You know, and first and foremost, He's gonna increase those that were given and didn't use it is going to be taken from them and given to those who have continued.
And the scriptures say, he that has shall have more, and he that hath not shall be taken away, even that which he
has.
Mm-hmm.
Yep, that's exactly the scripture.
Verse 3. 1 Peter 4:3, it says, for the time past, this point right here, another good point. For the time past of our life may suffice us to have wrought the will of the Gentiles when we walked in lasciviousness, lust, excess of wine, revelings, banquetings, and abominable idolatries.
Yeah, and that's what you're seeing right now. The ball, like we have all these people showing up like it's some miracle thing. Oh, the ball's gonna drop. Yeah, in New York, like that's East Coast. Like, you got people staying up. Are you going to watch the ball drop? And then they watch the ball drop on the West Coast and they're like, are you going to stay up till midnight? Nah, I already saw the the ball dropped, so I'm good. It's like, what the fuck does any of this matter, man?
The ball
Foolishness.
dropped.
Like, what does that mean?
When you drop the ball, ain't that a bad thing?
Yeah.
It's like who
Dropped the ball.
He dropped the ball.
Who hit puberty?
Yeah, exactly, yeah.
Fucking robot hit puberty.
I always thought of it like Esau just celebrating that his kingdom survived another year in wickedness, man. You know what I'm saying? So they celebrate that shit.
Yeah, I could see that, but damn.
They make a whole new vow that they ain't even gonna follow throughout the year. You know what I'm saying?
New me.
A week into a workout diet regimen, it's over.
Hey, if we're still here in, May, June, July, just ask people, hey, so what was your New Year's resolution like? How's that going for you so far? Oh man, after January, second day into January, I fucked up.
See, I was working out.
Chocolate cake. Chocolate cake.
Yeah, chocolate
Hey, it be like that sometimes. I'm bounce back though.
Come back.
I'll come back 2020. Hey, come back 2020.
Hey,
I get it next year.
You know what their response is, because nobody's gonna be honest and say they're gonna be like, no, I'm working at it. You know what I'm saying?
Made some progress.
I mean, shit. Ask people. How did their 2018 resolution go for them?
Right.
How'd that pan out? We see a lot of failures, man. A lot of people are gonna fail in this life. So go ahead.
Yeah, continue. Verse 4. It says, "Wherein they think it strange that ye run not with them to the same excess of right, speaking evil of you." It's crazy, man. They don't want to go party.
Right.
That's how they look at us, man.
And you have every weekend to so-called party.
Yeah.
What makes tonight any more different, man? That everyone else is partying, like.
Right.
Girls giving out kisses at midnight.
Yeah.
You give them beads and they'll show you the titties.
People bragging about face planting head first to damn cement for being blacked out drunk and shit. Man.
Yeah.
They bragging about doing shit like that.
Yeah, some of them are probably saying that because they got beat up. Hey, but let's wrap up with the brothers. Got any closing precepts?
I got one. This is Luke chapter 21, verse 34. And take heed to yourselves, lest at any time your hearts be overcharged with surfeiting and drunkenness and cares of this life, and so that day come upon you unawares. For as a snare shall it come on all them that dwell on the face of the whole earth.
Yep. And these people are gonna have no excuse because the Most High sent His watchmen out there, the true prophets, the true seers, the true watchmen. That's us, man. The great millstone that never stopped rolling, baby. The work continued. Right. Above all things, yeah, we got lives, we have, issues, whether, just like everyone else, we're repairing credit, trying to get, our raises and performance reviews, and we have families and pets, vehicles, we have all the same things in life that you do. And we're doing this, we're doing shows, we're studying, we're reading, we're teaching on the highways and byways. So what's your excuse? You're not doing that. Like we do more than you people, man. And some brothers might be running a business on the side, or whatever else it is they're doing. They're doing a mentorship, or they're tutoring kids or something, or taking care of little retard babies. Who you never know what a brother's into, man.
Spiritual Ashanti card.
You know what I'm saying? Right. Hey, each brother's, you gotta be all 12 tribes at one time. You gotta be all 12 tribes at one time, man.
All the time.
And hey, brothers are real good at being Manasseh, Brothers are real good at being Manassites. You gotta be better than that though, man. You gotta be better than that though.
Better than that.
There's one more verse, verse 36. Watch ye therefore and pray always, that ye may be accounted worthy to escape all these things that shall come to pass, and to stand before the Son of Man.
Yeah, be ready always, man. You're gonna have to give account, and you're gonna want to be able to stand and give your testimony, and not have it come to bite you in the buttocks, man. You're gonna want to be credible. And the scriptures tell you, fear not the incredulity of them that trouble thee. And incredulity means a disbelief, a lack of faith. You know. So you prove your faith and prove your belief by speaking. You brothers had other closing precepts?
You can go ahead, bro.
Yeah, you got it, bro.
This is Matthew 24 and 33. Verily I say unto you, this generation shall not pass till all things be fulfilled. Heaven and earth shall pass away, but my words shall not pass away. But of that day and that hour knoweth no man, no, not the angels of heaven, but my Father only. But as the days of Noe were, so shall also the coming of the Son of Man be. For as the days that were before the flood, they were eating and drinking, marrying and giving in marriage, until the day of Noe until that day Noe entered into the ark, and knew not until the flood came and took them all away. So shall also the coming of the Son of Man be. Then shall two be in the field, and one shall be taken, and the other left.
Yeah, so it's the same scenario as Noah. When it comes, then they'll know. Then the people will know. But until then, we got to put in our spiritual 120 years spiritually of prophesying with no one believing us and listening until the time is too late, and then they're going to come running looking for help and answers, and it's too late. The shop is closed, man. The market is closed. Everyone went home. Kasad, or
This is 1 Peter 4 and 7. But the end of all things is at hand. Be ye therefore sober and watch unto prayer.
Yeah, and guys don't like to pray until the last minute. They get in jail. They're before the judge. God.
So after things went wrong.
Yeah. God, if you get me out of this, it's too late, man. You were supposed to be smart enough to not get in that situation in the first place. So yeah, a lot of people are gonna wait till that last minute mindset, man.
That precept that brother read too proves that just because you thought in your head that 400 years adds up to, which by the way wasn't talking about this time. You know, that 400 years was talking about the time of Egypt.
Yep.
But that proves that we don't know the day nor hour, man.
Exactly.
It may be 2019, maybe 2020, 2021, but we hasten the day. We don't know the exact day nor hour.
What did it say? 2020.
2019.
You got 2020 vision. It's like you can see.
Right.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? It'd be crazy if we did get delivered in 2020. You know.
Yeah.
And everything is clear. It's like motherfuckers see now.
It's just the fact that we had a hope. That's what matters. You know, fuck when it happens. You just hope that it happens, and we're part of the ones that's gonna get delivered.
Yeah, it happens speedily, man.
And it happens. Yeah. This whole chapter's good, but to the point, Wisdom of Solomon 2 and 23. For the Most High created man to be immortal, and made him to be an image of his own eternity. Nevertheless, through envy of the devil came death into the world, and they that do hold of his side do find it. You know, just getting into tying it back to the chip. You know, there's a lot of people that trust in Egypt, man, that trust in this American society wholeheartedly, and that's all they know. And if it comes down to them selecting the RFID chip or just believing in YAHAWASHI, majority of our people are gonna take the chip, man. You know, and then they're gonna be destroyed. But it's gotta happen because it gotta be a 2/3, it gotta be a 1/3, it gotta be elect. And there's gotta be more joy over them that get saved than them that be destroyed, man. You know,
Just like the hot and cold, you know, you got two classifications as people, man. You got the people that's warned and that are gonna listen. You know, actually take heed to those words and make preparations because they're taking, you know, they're actually listening to that warning. You got the people that hears the warning and just flats out ignores it, man.
Yep.
You know, and they're the ones that's gonna get caught out there.
1/3 and 2/3, man. That's it. That's all. That's all that cares. Because the nations are as a drop of a bucket. The Most High doesn't care about them. So, hey, with that, we're gonna wrap it up. And until next time, shalom.
So,